Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Thurgood Marshall College Fund's 30th Anniversary Awards Gala, celebrating 30 years of developing minds and delivering dreams. And now, please welcome the President and CEO of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, Mr. Johnny C. Taylor, Jr.
Just words cannot describe how beautiful this room is, right? I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful people celebrating a beautiful cause, historically black colleges and universities. Ain't God good, right? He'll do it. Won't he do it, as my people say? Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 30th Anniversary Awards Gala. As you know, this is my 8th year standing before you on this stage. And if you've been here before, you know me, and you know we're about to have a good time. Okay? Thank you for coming back. If this is your first time joining us, thank you for being here, and I guarantee you, you're going to have an amazing time. Now, this is for everybody. Make sure to post your experience tonight on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, using hashtag TMCF Gala. Now, you know, this is when you date yourself, because the first time I did this, I said, you know the pound sign? And the kids were like, no, Mr. Taylor, don't even try it. Hashtag, for those of us who are my age and older, that's the little thing on the phone, left-hand bottom corner that looks like a pound sign, right? Speaking of that, 30 years ago, man, do you remember what was going on in our country 30 years ago? Outside of me being born, right, Mama? That's my mama over there. Seriously, 30 years ago, the median annual individual income was just over $24,000, and gas was 89 cents a gallon. Now, 30 years later, the median income has jumped to $56,000, but the gas prices has nearly tripled to $2.49 a gallon. There were lots of amazing firsts and landmarks when we celebrated this organization in 1987, too. Baby Jessica was rescued from the well. Y'all remember, come on now. The Simpsons premiered. And relevant to this conversation and this gathering today, A Different World hit the airwaves. How about it? And who'd have thought that it would have such a tremendous impact on the cultural perception of the black college experience? Movies like The Lethal Weapon, 3 Men and a Baby, and Dirty Dancing were all big. Aretha Franklin had just become the first woman, not just the first black woman, but the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How about it? We celebrated the 200th anniversary of the United States Constitution, and as part of the Constitutional Bicentennial celebration, Justice Thurgood Marshall, for whom we are named, gave us an amazing speech at the San Francisco Patent and Trademark Law Association seminar. And this is the one that I enjoy. Miss Whitney Houston made history as the first woman ever to hold the top spot on the Billboard 200. How about it? You know, we all thought we could do Whitney, right? I want to dance with somebody. It became the first of 4 #1 hits from Whitney's second album in 1987. I just can't believe it's been that long. And I'm not, I don't know about you, but I thought, guys, we know Whitney was all of that back in the day, right? And she left us way too soon. But thanks to Strata Education Network, you probably know them as USA Funds, we have with us an award-winning international female sensation. Since winning the famous Dutch competition, the Sound Mix Show, which is the equivalent of our, America's Got Talent, the American Idol, she has reached the top of the Dutch singles charts. Not to mention, she's beautiful, she's talented, and has a splendid and amazing voice. Tonight, she will pay homage to a great lady who made history back in 1987. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Miss Glennis Grace.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I know that when you look at me, there's so much that you just don't see. But if you will only take the time, I know in my heart you'd find all the girls who are scared sometimes, who isn't always strong. Can't you see they're hurting me? I feel so all alone. I wanna run to you. Ooh, I wanna run to you. Ooh, would you hold me in your arms and keep me safe from harm? I wanna run to you. Ooh, but if I come to you, tell me, will you stay or will you run away? Each day I play a role of someone, always in control. But at night, when I come home and turn the key, there's nobody there, no one cares for me. Oh, what's the sense of trying hard to find your dreams without someone to share it with? Tell me, what does it mean? I wanna run to you. I wanna run to you. Would you hold me in your arms and keep me safe from harm? I wanna run to you. But if I come to you, tell me, will you stay or will you run away? Run away. Oh, I need you here. I need you here to wipe away my tears, to kiss away my fears. Lord, if you only knew how much I wanna run to you, and I wanna run to you. Would you hold me in your arms and keep me safe from harm? I run to you. But if I come to you, tell me, will you stay or will you run away? Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna run to you. I know that's right. Wasn't she simply amazing? I mean, amazing. Thank you, Glennis. Thank you. And so I have to give you the backstory about how this all happened. I got an email one day from one of my staff, Tangi Newborn. She said, "You've got to see this woman perform. You've just got to see it." And you know, you've been to our shows. We normally have, you got to have a Grammy and you got to have this and you got to have that to grace this stage. And I looked and watched that video. I even sent it to my mama. I said, "Watch this." I was blown away. This is her first time in the nation's capital. And she will be debuting her music in the U.S. early next year. So watch out for Miss Glennis Grace. And whatever you all just saw, when we wrap up tonight, she's going to come back and kill it again. So stay tuned, okay? Thank you again, Strata Education Network, for sponsoring our entertainment tonight and coming on board as our new gala partner. Strata, thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. So in 1987, public HBCUs were educating nearly 75% of all students attending HBCUs. But there was no organization around to support those schools. After 2 years of planning and hard work, an amazing woman, Dr. N. Joyce Payne, cemented into history an organization that will be designed to help students attending public HBCUs. Dr. Payne, would you please stand and be recognized? And she looks amazing, doesn't she? Dr. Payne had a vision that through scholarships and strategic partnerships, the Thurgood Marshall then Scholarship Fund, now known as the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, would be a vital resource for public HBCUs and the students matriculating on these campuses. You will see a mini video chronicling our history later on in the program, but over the years, the organization has grown to provide so many opportunities, so many more opportunities than just scholarships. We have become a key conduit to competitive internships and good jobs, as our chairman would say, for these same students. We support our member schools through capacity building and research initiatives. And today, our crown jewel is our innovative program that touches students starting in pre-K. And then we guide them to and through college and into the workplace. Thanks to the support of our partners and each one of you in this room tonight, we are proud to have supported educational opportunities over the past 30 years for thousands of students, and we've spent more than $250 million in support of HBCUs. But before we get too far in tonight's program, for those of you all who've already started eating and ain't got no home training, I'm going to ask Rabbi Jonah Dov-Pesner to come and deliver the invocation and pray for all y'all heathens who started eating already. Rabbi Jonah Pesner, please join me on the stage.
This is a day that God has given us. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, because this is the day that we celebrate the Thurgood Marshall College Fund and the visionary leadership of Dr. Payne, Mr. Taylor, all of you, and those students who are going to lead us forward into justice. So let us pray. Will you please stand and offer praise and thanks to our God who brings us to this joyful and sacred occasion. Oh God, when you called out thousands of years ago and asked the question to Isaiah, "Who shall I send? Who will go before us?" And Isaiah cried out, "Send me, Lord, Hineni, here I am." And for thousands of years, leaders have heard the call and said, "Hineni, here I am. Send me, Lord." The founders of my own Religious Action Center of Reform Judaism, who partnered with Dr. King and the Leadership Conference for Civil Rights and led the fight for civil rights and human rights for all people, they heard the call and they said hineni. And that's why the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 were written in my own conference room. And Thurgood Marshall, he heard the call and he responded, hineni, God, here I am, send me. And Dr. Payne heard the call and said, send me, Lord, here I am, hineni. And now, God, you call us today in a moment in our history when we have seen a rise of a movement that is unprecedented in many of our lifetimes of white supremacy, of bigotry, of racism and hate. And we know that our criminal justice system is broken and needs reform as we suffer with the plague of mass incarceration. And we ask you, God, to call out to us again, who will I send? Who will lead us forth to reclaim the soul and help America become the country that it can be, in which all people know justice and opportunity and equity? And so finally, God, we know that you are calling everyone in this room, but most of all, God, you are calling all of the students of the historically black colleges and universities, our scholars, our leaders, the students of today, but the fighters of this day and tomorrow who will lead us forth in saying, hineni, here I am, send me, Lord. Amen.
Have a seat. Thank you so much, Rabbi Pesner. Ladies and gentlemen, you can now begin your meal. But I need y'all to be quiet now. Listen, tonight is about recognizing and celebrating the hard work of 3 distinguished honorees and those individuals who were there in the early years of this organization. Tonight is the night that we're going to recognize some very important people. And it's about each of you in this room tonight. You are here because you care. And without your support, we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do. We can never say thank you enough to our partners, but I have to give a very special thanks to 2 partners in the room who were there in the beginning. Would all guests from Miller Coors, formerly Miller Brewing Company, and the National Basketball Association, the NBA, please stand. Everyone, these 2 companies were the first to step up financially and in so many other ways back in 1987. Thank you for believing in Dr. Payne's dream and for your continued support over the years as 2 of our founding partners. You've been with us for 30 years. We are truly grateful to you and your continued support. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. The NBA and Miller Coors. Next, and this is the thing I get really excited about, I get to introduce you to over 400 reasons why your support means so much to us. Would all of our students in the balconies throughout the room representing the Leadership Institute class of 2017, House, can we give them some lights? Because I want you to see, these are the stars. And before you sit down, don't sit down. I know you want to get back to your food, but you all know you are our special guest. I hope you've had an amazing experience over the past few days. I hope each of you have gotten job offers, learned a lot about leadership development, and I'm sure you have fantastic stories to take back to your campuses. Your perseverance, your resilience, your determination to attend this conference and compete with your peers for internships and good jobs is inspiring. You represent the very heart and soul of what Black colleges and universities and the Thurgood Marshall College Fund are all about. You are part of our family, now as TMCF alumni, and we expect nothing but great things from each of you. Don't let anything or anyone get in the way of your dreams. Thank you for coming out. Now, there's a really special group here. Now, I said before, our 400 scholars are it, but you know, you've got to feed into this pipeline. They don't just appear as juniors and seniors in college, right? We've got to build into it. I'd like to recognize 30 middle and high school students who are part of our Vivian Bury Marshall STEM Pilot Initiative. These students have come from Vicksburg, Mississippi. They've come in from Baltimore, Maryland, all over, and we are so excited. Young people, young men and women, boys and girls, please stand up so that they can see you. They look so good. And House, we got to showcase these babies. Where are they? See them back there? You see, there's going to be a lot of celebrating tonight. These are our future scholars, and we are so thankful to the U.S. Army for their partnership, helping us build an early pipeline of students to HBCUs. All of these students, the college students, the middle high school students, they are why we are here tonight. Now, normally, this would be the part of the evening where I'd turn over things to our guest host. But I'm going to take the privilege of serving as your host for tonight. How about that? How about that? And it's not because we got stood up. It's because our chairman said to me on the way in, he said, over 8 years, you finally listened to me. You're finally going to honor my request. So Jim Clifton, I'm going to serve as the host tonight. We had a lot of folks willing to do it, but he asked me to do it, so let's party. Let's have a good time. If you think that opening was strong, just wait until you see what we have lined up for you tonight. Please welcome Mr. Darrell Graham, the Senior Vice President of Philanthropy at Strata Education Network, to bring greetings on behalf of one of our partners. Mr. Graham.
Wow, Johnny was right. This is a beautiful view. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. It is an honor to be here with you representing Strata Education Network. We are pleased to be a part of this 30th Anniversary Awards Gala, recognizing education visionaries and the importance of advancing student success. Strata Education is proud to have a long-time partnership with the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. It's a partnership we hold dear because TMCF's work to be an organizer where payoff aligns with Strata Education's own guiding principle, completion with a purpose. We believe that all students should have a more purposeful path to rewarding careers and fulfilling lives. And TMCF's work puts students on that path to college and career success. Some of the numbers tell the story, with a 97% of TMCF scholarship recipients graduating from college, 200 first-generation students who get an opportunity to be first in their families to graduate from college. Nearly 2,000 students each year take part in programming to prepare for workplace success. 150 new and continuing teachers receive support to succeed in the classroom. And with the help of the TMCF, more than 200 students each year land executive track positions. We should cheer for that. We should applaud that. Thank you. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund work is making an impact on the success of individuals, which advances the success of communities and the economy as a whole. So Strata Education would like to take a moment to thank Thurgood Marshall College Fund for your commitment to student success in college and career. We'd also like to acknowledge those who join us in partnering with TMCF. Strata Education is honored to stand side by side with these Gala partners at the platinum and gold levels this evening. If you could hold your applause till I finish, that would be great. First of all, Breakthrough Beverage, Altria, Boston Consulting Group, Gallup, Miller Coors, NBA, Society for Human Resource Management, and last but certainly not least, Wells Fargo. Please let's give them a round of applause. Strata Education Network looks forward to continue our work with TMCF. Together, we can build on the Thurgood Marshall College Fund's 30 years of work to help ensure that all students succeed in college and career. Thank you.
Yes, they're going to make me earn this meal tonight. Thank you, Daryl. The support of our partners is so critical to furthering the work that we do. I often say, where there is no money, there is no mission. And we have a lot of work to do from a mission standpoint, so we need your support. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you're aware. You are aware. And if you're not, I'm going to tell you. Tonight is a fundraiser. Okay, I know you're going to enjoy your meal. Y'all dressed up and look pretty. But we got to get these babies back home, all 400 of them and the 30 students. We need your support. In the past, we've asked you 1,000 times throughout the night to give. I hope tonight something that is said in the course of our program will inspire you to give on your own without prompting. If each of us sit here, we have so much to be thankful for. You know, God is so good in so many ways, and if you just, no matter what's going on in your life, these young people, you are the lifeline. You are oftentimes that $500 that we give a kid, or that $7,000, or that $12,000, or that $40,000 a year we give to students pursuing their PhD. It's because of what you do. If you feel compelled to contribute to the success of the young people in this room tonight, and the hundreds more around the country that we support, we've made it easy for you. So, just visit www.tmcf.org/give on your phone or device. I know you all have them, but we really want you to think about this. And after you've made your gift, tell your friends and family via social media and encourage them to make a donation as well. Remember, you can't have mission, you can't deliver on your mission without money. And don't forget to use that hashtag TMCF Gala. All of the funds raised tonight will be used to continue to support opportunities for TMCF's students and our member schools. And you're going to get to meet our leaders of our member schools a little later on tonight. Now, just to incentivize you, not that you shouldn't have to be incentivized after you meet all of these wonderful students, but just a little, those who give $100 or more will be automatically entered into a drawing to receive some pretty cool prizes, like United Airlines is giving away first-class tickets around the world on airline tickets. But you got to be in it to get it, right? Moet Hennessy. I'm sure some of you start clapping on that. Moet. They're like, I don't need to fly anywhere. Just give me some Moet. Moet Hennessy is going to have some wonderful spirits for us and a big basket of chocolate from Hershey, the Hershey Company. All of tonight's prizes can be found in your program book, and the winners will be shown on the screens at the end of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, you may think $100 won't make a difference, but it really will. And by the way, if you can't give $100, then give 30, which will represent $1 for every year that we're in business, the work that we've been doing. I hope y'all don't stop at 30, by the way. I was just giving you that break, okay? I want a little bit more than $30. For real. For real. But it's important that you give what you can, that's better than giving nothing. And everyone in this room, I saw you coming in, you look good, we can give to these students. Now, it's time to start presenting our awards. They called me a professional beggar. I did that well, right? Come on, I did it all right. I didn't make you feel too uncomfortable. Yet. But along the night, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be right back out here being the professional beggar that I've been trained to be so well. Tonight, in addition to raising some money, we are here to honor 3 amazing individuals. All of our honorees tonight serve as role models for the next generation of leaders and represent the late Justice Thurgood Marshall's commitment to equal opportunity for all men and women, regardless of their race, creed, religion, or national origin. We are pleased to welcome our first presenter back home. This is really a special moment for us. This gentleman attended high school in Columbia, Maryland, and went on to continue his education at one of the TMCF member schools, Morgan State University. I know you all in the room. Join me in welcoming, and you all will know him as the guy from Entertainment Tonight co-host, Mr. Kevin Frazier.
Can I just say something? Johnny is doing a great job tonight, isn't he? Almost too good a job. Can't take jobs away from guys like me. You know, growing up just outside of Baltimore, Thurgood Marshall was one of my heroes. And when I headed off to college, I said, I want to be a lawyer just like Thurgood Marshall. I came to my senses because I realized I was aiming too high. But Entertainment Tonight is not bad. It is great, though, tonight, because our first honoree truly exemplifies Justice Marshall's commitment to justice, civil rights, and education. Richard Linser is a partner of Clary Gottlieb Steen and Hamilton LLP and serves as chair of the firm's Global Associates Committee, and in that capacity also serves on the firm's Committee on Diversity and Inclusion. Mr. Linser has been a member in the development of innovative structures for the financing of transportation infrastructure projects, such as toll roads, ports, and airports in the United States and all over Latin America. Nothing moves without this man getting it done. He also represented the UAW in its negotiations with GM and Ford, Chrysler, regarding funding arrangements for their retiree health care benefit obligations, and in connection with the bankruptcies of Chrysler and GM. Also among his civic and charitable activities, Mr. Linser served as a chair of the board of the trustees of the Cooper Union for the Advancement of Science and Art. Cooper Union was founded in 1859 by inventor, industrialist, and philanthropist Peter Cooper to offer free higher education to both men and women of the working classes. I want you to turn your attention to the big screens for a second to check out a little more about this outstanding individual.
I joined the firm right out of law school after clerking for a federal judge. I've been here the rest of my career. I joke that I can't get another job, so I stay. You know, it's interesting, the firm, more than 90% of our partners have spent their entire career here. We're not one of these firms that does free agents and takes in a lot of lateral partners. So it really is a true partnership. In terms of things that contributed to my success, part of it is basically whatever I do, I'm going to give it my utmost. And so whatever I've done, I've sort of mastered it and then moved on. And taught other people, and I don't monopolize it. I've been willing to work with a team. So I think it's that hunger, that willingness to learn. I want to learn new things. I'm not content to sit on being the master of something I've done before. What brings me the greatest joy? People who know me would probably say a good glass of single malt Scotch whiskey. But, you know, aside from my practice, I think a lot of it's my family, obviously. I've got 3 great sons, and I'm very proud of them. Not because of what they've achieved, but because of the quality people they are. And my wife deserves a lot of credit for that. I mean, given how much I work, she's kind of been there and set the standards. And she obviously is great and holds the household together and has been tolerant of my working hours, which are not short. The gala, Developing Minds, Delivering Dreams, that theme really resonates with me. If you look at my background and the advantages I've had, being able to go to a good college, and they didn't give scholarships back then. I remember my father's practice, his engineering practice, was in a funk then. It was really a stretch to pay for college. But I look, and I would never have had that, or may never have had that, if he hadn't had the similar opportunity that Peter Cooper did when he established Cooper Union. And he basically established a school in 1859 and admitted people without regard to race, without regard to color, without regard to sex. That was way ahead of its times. And it gave me that opportunity. So Thurgood Marshall College Fund offers this opportunity to students now. And this is what we've got to do to continue to allow people to achieve and to have initiative. This is a fantastic thing. And the enthusiasm you see in the students is just a reward in itself. I think it's fantastic. Receiving the Thurgood Marshall Legacy Award outstrips all the professional awards I've gotten. Those are things you're supposed to be doing as a professional lawyer. But recognition for contributing to others, for contributing to the community, to my mind, is far more important and really a capstone. I'm incredibly honored and humbled to receive this award.
Now, the Thurgood Marshall Legacy Award is presented to an outstanding member of the legal profession who exemplifies a commitment to equal opportunity and education. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient, Mr. Richard Linser.
Thank you, Kevin. This truly is a singular honor that is most meaningful to me. I'm thrilled to be able to share this evening with my wife, Ellen, who for more than 30 years has put up with the long hours and frequent travel that my practice entails, with my assistant, Kathy Samarco, who helps me juggle the hectic pace of my days, and with my many partners and colleagues, clients, and friends who have joined me here this evening in recognition of the importance of TMCF's mission. I have never lost sight of the fact that a major factor in allowing me to entertain the aspirations to attend college and law school was the opportunity given to my father through Peter Cooper's establishment of the Cooper Union, whose mission was to make higher education accessible to the working classes, and quite remarkable for 1859, to people of all races, genders, and religions. So when my professional success enabled me to support organizations with my time and resources, it seemed to me that I could make a difference in the lives of new generations of students by focusing on institutions that similarly provide access to higher education and may not have the wherewithal of a $27 billion endowment like the college I attended. That, of course, is what TMCF and the HBCUs do for aspiring black students today. I have tried to carry that forward in my mentoring and development of young lawyers at our firm. Cleary Gottlieb was founded by Leo Gottlieb and Henry Friendly at a time when Jews were not hired by Wall Street firms, let alone named partners of them. Given that background, diversity and inclusion were absolutely central to our firm's founding principles, and they remain a key element of our identity today. We believe that everyone at the firm benefits from interacting with the creativity, talents, and perspective contributed by people of different backgrounds and experiences, all the more so in fraught times like these. I'm pleased to say that our ranks include numerous associates who attended HBCUs as undergraduates, as well as graduates and current students at Howard Law School, and many of them are here with us tonight. They are all great, but we want even more of their classmates to join us. If I may presume to offer a few tips to the students in the room, you are going to make mistakes in your career. I know I certainly stumbled out of the gate when I joined the firm, and for the first couple of years, my associates doubt this when I tell them I was a pretty mediocre lawyer. But people took me under their wing, and I realized that if I was going to do this, I at least should give it my all. And if I could build on something that Colonel Williamson told you at lunch today, When you're working at a job, you may not know if this is what you want to do for your life's work, but you need to be all in. You don't want to get to a point where you realize, yes, this is what I want to do, and have that opportunity foreclosed to you because you didn't give it your all. And if you do that, you will find that there are mentors, and some of them will not look like you, who are willing to invest in you and willing to help you grow professionally and personally. So on my own behalf, and on behalf of our firm, I'd like to congratulate my good friend Johnny Taylor, and especially TMCF's founder, Dr. Payne, on 30 years of extraordinary work to ensuring access to higher education for the outstanding students at the HBCUs. Thank you again for this honor.
So that was a very special award for me. I've been on the board of the Cooper Union with Rich, and I know that some of my fellow board trustee members are here in the room tonight. They came in. His partners are going on a big partnership retreat out of the country, and so many of them came out tonight. They got on the trains and planes from New York City. Cooper Union trustees in the room, thank you. Thank you for coming out and celebrating this special night. And some would say, why Rich? I joined the board at the Cooper Union several years ago, and it was interesting to hear him constantly talk about the importance of diversity and inclusion in higher education. This is a lawyer, a transactional lawyer. It was also really important when he pulled me to the side and said, what can we do, and how can we do it to increase the number of HBCU undergraduate students attending America's law schools? No matter what law schools they attend, how can we increase that pipeline? And he continued to talk to me about that year after meeting. I was like, this man is serious. He really is committed to this work. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, TMCF also supports 6 law schools. We don't focus on those very often. Today we met a young man who was a graduate of one of our law schools, Texas Southern Law School. All right, back in the room. But I want to ask you, if there are any law students in this room, this is a man that you should try to meet at the end of this night, because he's not just talking about it, he's doing the work. So, our next presenter, many of you may know him. I know my aunt and my mom, and everybody's going to carry on, even my daughter. You may know him as the middle lion's son, Jamal, on the hit show Empire. And if your memory really serves you good, you may remember him from the Mighty Ducks. He's been around for, they're like, no, it's Empire. Ladies and gentlemen, and I want to take just a point of privilege before I bring him up on the stage. It's hard, as much as we see the celebrities and athletes talking about commitment to our community, I can't tell you how difficult it is when you call them. Many of them want a check. Many of them want you to fly them and their entourages here. Many of them want to know, what can you do for them? What's amazing is the people you're going to meet tonight wanted to be here. This is superstar status, but he wanted to be here. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage actor and recording artist extraordinaire, Mr. Jussie Smollett.
Hello, everybody. Hey, y'all up there. Y'all all right? You good? I am so honored to be here, and thank you, Johnny. And thank you to TMCF for inviting me. Listen, we live in a world, and particularly I can speak on the nation, that right now it feels very, very gloomy, we'll say. Looking at all of y'all up there and all of y'all back there, I know that you are the leaders of tomorrow, and I somehow feel like everything will be okay. So, now let me get back on script. We all know that the students are the true stars in this room. And I brought my handkerchief here because once you hear what this student has been through and how he's pushing and pushing and pushing to achieve his dreams, I don't know if there will be a dry eye in the house. He's a senior majoring in mechanical engineering at Alabama A&M University. Whoop, whoop. Please give a huge, warm, beautiful round of applause and welcome to the podium, Frederick Montez Boyd.
Good evening. My story begins in a small town of Sachs in Anniston, Alabama. I was a happy kid, top of my class, and all I wanted in my life was to make my parents proud. But on July 23rd, 2012, when I was just 16 years old, my life was changed forever. On this Monday, the quiet of the morning was shattered by the ring of 5 gunshots coming from outside my bedroom door. In a panic, I barricaded my door and called 911. I can't describe the fear that I experienced that day. Little did I know at the time, my mother was bleeding out just feet away from me. To this day, the last thing I heard from my mom was her screams. When I finally opened my bedroom door, I found my mom at my feet. I took one look at her eyes, and I knew she was gone. The police officers came. I watched everything unfold on the news from the holding room. I was informed that my dad, a former Anniston police officer for 18 years, was the person who murdered my mom. He had taken my whole life and my world. My mom was dead. My father was more than likely going to spend the rest of his life behind bars. And then there was me. I was truly alone for the first time in my life. My mother was my rock. Through every event of my life, no matter how big or how small, she was there for me. Questions raced through my head every day. My dad knew I was in my house, so it crossed my mind. Why didn't he come after me as well as her? Why did he leave me to face such a traumatic scene alone? I still to this day wonder why I was spared, and I still regret not having the chance to tell my mother just how much I loved her. My mom's parents picked me up from the station that day, and they have raised me ever since. Without them, I would have been in the foster care system since I was technically an orphan. I quietly battled depression, survivor's guilt, and suicidal thoughts. I had times I felt I couldn't even face my family because in my mind, I truly believed there was something I could have done to prevent such a tragedy. Months passed. I grew more and more detached from the world. Where attending college was a personal goal of mine, I had to switch my focus to making it day to day. I told myself I had to keep pushing forward, if not for me, for my parents. I went on to graduate high school as a salutatorian with a 3.98 GPA. Thank you. Even with this hurdle conquered, college still felt like it was a long shot for me. Both of my grandparents were retired, and I refused to let them pay a single penny toward my education. Through perseverance and the grace of God, I was awarded enough scholarships to attend Alabama A&M University. Where I had lost my immediate family, I found so many more on Alabama A&M's campus. Funny enough, I have found many more moms along my journey, one of which is in the audience tonight, Mrs. Carla Holloway. Mrs. Holloway introduced me to Thurgood Marshall College Fund. When she informed me of the opportunities, I knew I had to apply. With her guidance and the invaluable wisdom of TMCF's own Miss Lenora Longstreet Hare, I am a senior mechanical engineering major graduating in May 2018. I am the president of a student organization. I secured 2 internships with the Department of Defense through TMCF. I am attending my very first Leadership Institute. And while I was here this week, I was blessed to receive an employment offer to join a major company full-time upon my graduation. Thank you, TMCF, for your continued support. You took a chance on me and saved the life of someone you had just met. You didn't see a battered young man. You instead saw the potential for something much greater. Thank you, TMCF, for showing me that I don't have to chase my dreams anymore, because I'm living them each and every day. Thank you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell my story tonight. Before I leave the podium, I'd like to ask some of my peers from the Leadership Institute class to join me here on stage. Thank you.
Come on from behind there. You got to see all these beautiful people. Come on, kids. Come on now. Can't hide behind the 30-year sign. I need to see you. Everyone needs to know who's here. We've snapped the photos. You know, I was sitting in the back, and I'm not a particularly emotional person, but, you know, I said this earlier, we have so much to be thankful for. And, you know, that guy you'd walk past every day and not know his story and not know what he has had to overcome. See, all of us have had some tough times, but God knows none of us ever believe that another human being should experience that, and then to graduate with 3.98 salutatorian and then a degree in mechanical engineering. That's why we're doing what we do. I told you. This is why. This is the real deal. This is not pretend. We are helping students like this realize their dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go into dinner, I want to leave you with a very important message that I touched on earlier. I've said it. Where there is no money, there is no mission. The prizes up for grabs are great, and we offer those to incentivize or to incent you to give. However, the real prizes, I think you'd agree, tonight are the students on this stage, right? You know, all of them were asked to stand earlier, but they were in the back and at their partner seats and getting to know folks. And I mean, you all look so beautiful. I am just really touched by this moment. But I brought you up so that you can see them, all dressed up, smart, talented. These young people, they are the reasons we are here tonight. They are the grand prizes. The theme of this gala is developing minds and delivering dreams. To my peers in the room, think about what dreams you had when you were their age. Just think about that. I stand here tonight asking you to make a gift to help fulfill these young folks' dreams, just as someone helped each of us at some point in our lives. Justice Marshall once said, none of us got where we were solely by pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. We got here because somebody bent down and helped us pick up our boots. And as I continue to talk and you see these bright young people behind me, I hope you are on your device right now making your gift to TMCF. They need your support right now. It will allow us to continue providing opportunities to help these young and brilliant minds pick up their boots. TMCF supports nearly 300,000 students attending America's historically black colleges and universities, our publicly supported institutions. All HBCU alumni in the room. In particular, we need for you to give back. And if you didn't attend an HBCU, you know someone who did. Hello, right? We always say that. I may not have matriculated on an HBCU campus, but some teacher, some doctor, some lawyer, someone, as a result of that HBCU education, is helping you today. And if you don't know anyone who attended an HBCU, let me introduce you to a few right here. Okay, how about it? What we do for these students requires money, and it's that simple. And though some of our major partners like the U.S. Department of Defense, Koch Industries, Wells Fargo, John Deere, have provided a tremendous amount of money to fund great opportunities for our students, we are asking you to do the same. Small amounts add up to big amounts. Someone said today, I don't make a lot of money. I said, then don't give me a lot, but give me some. How about it? These students are our future doctors, lawyers, teachers, researchers, college presidents, CEOs, and maybe even a president of the United States. TMCF partners with our member schools to develop their minds, but tonight I'm asking everyone in this room to give what you can to help us deliver a dream. Now, you know, I call this my Sally Struthers moment. Y'all remember back in the day? Gloria was like, you got to give. And I'm gonna do that right now. That's what we're asking you, because TMCF can't support them without you. This next gentleman was one of our earliest supporters and one of the first celebrities to sign on to support TMCF back in 1987. You see, he had a dream to become a basketball legend, and he certainly is one. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage NBA Hall of Famer, Mr. Bob Lanier.
Thank you, Johnny. It is so glad to be here. I ran into a lot of dear friends that I haven't seen in many, many years, so I am really glad to be here tonight. Seeing all these students on stage as I was waiting to come on was very, very touching. 30 years ago, when I was playing in the NBA, I helped spread the word about an organization that would become the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. I'm filled with pride to know that this organization is still here, empowering young people like this to be the best that they can be. Give them another big hand, please. So on behalf of our NBA family, I'm happy to be here tonight as we celebrate this momentous occasion. What you're about to see is a video highlighting some special moments from the last 30 years. And if what Johnny just said didn't inspire you to give, hopefully something in this video will. As you're watching, think about your dream and how hard you worked to get where you are today and who helped you along the way. Together, we can make a difference in the life of a young person. They wanted me to remind you to please respect all those who spent a lot of time and effort on this video and remain seated until it's over. There'll be ample time to network afterwards. And don't forget to share via social media using hashtag TMCF Gala. You may see your posts on the social wall that will be shown during dinner. Enjoy the video and the remainder of the program. God bless all of you.
I have a million reasons why I started the fund, but I think most importantly, I thought about what Thurgood Marshall said many years ago. He said that sometimes history takes on its own life that moves us in ways that we could not imagine.
The historical perspective of the fund is that I was the brand manager on Miller Lite in 1986, so I wanted to create more relevance for African Americans with Miller Lite, and I thought what would be really effective is to focus on something that's important to African Americans, education. And so I created a scholarship program for Miller Lite, and I found out that there was a woman by the name of Dr. Joyce Payne at the Office for the Advancement of Public Black Colleges, and also was a part of the National Association of State Universities and Land-Grant Colleges. And she wanted to raise money to provide scholarships for students attending public HBCUs.
And so we were thinking about what are the major components of such a program. So it was a great collaborative type of conversation, and the key points had to do with clearly the scholarship itself, the significance of the name. And so for you, Thurgood Marshall, and what that represents, that name of social justice, of excellence, of equality, of fighting to be the best. And because I thought it was really important to think about finding high-achieving students, because people don't often talk about people who are working to be the best.
So when I was serving as a lobbyist with the National Association of State Universities and Land-Grant Colleges and heading that office, my secretary and I sort of, Mary Ann Thompson, we were sort of clandestine in developing the fund. So the adversity initially was, how do I pull this off? Because that was not my responsibility to create a fund. I was supposed to be out there doing federal and congressional relations on behalf of the historically black public colleges. But again, I saw that void and seized that opportunity. And so that's how we got it started.
One of the things we did was we thought we could help the fund by giving it publicity by donating $1,000 a game from the Miller Brewing Company.
I thought it was really important to think about finding high-achieving students, because people don't often talk about people who are working to be the best, and particularly in minority communities. And to say to those students, you are doing well, we want to support you, we want you to be better than you ever thought you could be.
I accepted the position as first executive director of the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund, which was its name at the time, was because it provided an opportunity to continue my work with black higher education. Prior to becoming to the organization, I had worked for 15 years with the United Negro College Fund, working with historically black private colleges. And here was an opportunity to work with the public black colleges and universities. So it was really a phenomenal opportunity to also kind of begin to build an organization.
So it's really the only organization of its kind that exists to support across its membership very difficult institutions in difficult times, because education is under assault, so to speak, because of the cutbacks in funding, and the historically black colleges and universities are not at the top of the funding chain.
And then, of course, there was Noel Hankin with Miller Brewing Company, which was a subsidiary of Philip Morris. And Noel was always seeking not only an expansion of resources, both financial as well as human resources, really was of great assistance in expanding our Board of Trustees. And it was in fact through Noel Hankin that we recruited Virgis Colbert, who was our first board chair. He was a senior VP with Miller Brewing Company.
And from those humble beginnings, we were able to give the fund as much exposure as we possibly could.
As a TMCF recipient, or even as someone who is finished with it, you don't really finish. It's something that stays with you. You want to continue on. You want to continue to participate as you can financially, as well as with your time and presence. As a student, you want to kind of understand the legacy and the heritage that you're living by accepting this funding or the scholarship. It's important for you to always keep in mind what you represent, and that you kind of have an obligation now to live up to your dream.
TMCF has really made my life what it is today. I came to the Leadership Institute as a young, bright college kid with no plans after graduation, and Leadership Institute gave me a plan. It gave me an opportunity to work in corporate America, get my feet wet in corporate America, and teach me just general life skills that I use every day in my job. So I'm forever grateful for what TMCF has done and the impact that they've had on my life.
The Gallup organization, you know, one of the contributions that we make through research and science to our country is about leadership. And so anything that has to do with leadership, we're interested in. I got especially interested in Thurgood Marshall College Fund because of the processes that we go through with early identification of superstars. We have a big belief that early identification of people that God created just a little bit differently, that if you spot them early and then put them in accelerated development, you can change the world. When you sort through our 300,000 kids, there are thousands of kids that can build departments, that can build companies, that can build organizations with infinite value. And when you get those moments of proof that it does work, it's very rewarding.
Currently, like every organization, we're really focused on supporting students to ensure that they can get an education through scholarships, but more importantly, looking to hire the next talent and the next generation to join our organization, and TMCF provides us that opportunity.
When you see a student who has an opportunity that they may not have had otherwise, and the light bulb goes off, we call them light bulb moments. When they actually go off, you're so happy to know that you put all the hard work and the long hours into making that experience happen.
We ultimately believe that law schools don't make lawyers, medical schools don't make doctors. K-12 programs do. And so anything that HBCUs can do to generate high quality, committed teachers in our K-12 school system, in our classrooms, makes us most proud. The moment for me that I remember specifically is seeing our first class of TQRP students come through. These were folks who were going to go into America's classroom and make a difference. They were going to make Johnny believe that Johnny could be a giant. And to see us playing a role in identifying and developing those future teachers, those future leader makers, is actually one of the most, if not the most, important moment during my tenure.
When I look at the quality of the program, teacher quality and retention program, I look at pieces beyond just becoming a better teacher. I learned how to be a professional. It was life-changing because just through that 1 week, I learned that possibilities are endless. You just have to put your mind to what you want to do. You have to buckle down, and regardless of what's going on around you, you have to make sure that you are well prepared to make the most impact in that classroom that you could possibly make, because it's possible.
A personal point of pride for me in the TMCF relationship is watching the organization attract funding. Over the years, I've seen grants and contributions, big checks that we hold up, go from $100,000 to $200,000 to the $1 million that Wells Fargo provides on an annual basis or more.
The one thing that motivates me every day is raising money. I realize that you can't have mission without money. And so every day trying to find a creative argument, a way to make donors realize that investing in HBCU students is a good investment, drives me.
We are the high caliber
talent that you're looking for. We are hard workers who have integrity and are willing to go the extra mile. And so when you support TMCF, they're finding those hard-working, integrity, high-character individuals on campus, and they're providing them to you as an intern and as prospective employees.
Our students, our partners, and our supporters would say one thing about TMCF. They'd say this is where education pays off. They know that they're not just giving to a charity, they're investing in education. And people who invest want a positive return. And we're doing it every day with every dollar from every donor.
The support to TMCF is very critical to the future of this country and this world, because you are enabling a great generation that's coming up there.
We are so excited to have not only students who go into the corporate world, but also expose them to other opportunities, including starting their own business or having the mindset to go into a corporation or an industry and bring the entrepreneurial spirit and attitude. And so at OFC, we're looking at not only identifying top talent by GPA, but also who have an entrepreneurial mindset.
We build entrepreneurs every day. We work with corporations every day to help increase the opportunities for our students.
Think about it. 30 years ago, a woman decided that we needed to do more and better for our publicly supported HBCUs. She made history then. Think about it now, 30 years later. We're still making history. Our students are going to be history makers.
I've seen it become more than a scholarship fund to help students gain access to HBCUs. It's now a national advocate for HBCUs. It's a national advocate for higher education. It is a go-to resource for presidents of the colleges and universities across the HBCU landscape. And the programs that have been built are just bar none world class.
When I was elected to Congress in 2014, I set out to found the first ever bipartisan HBCU caucus. Since its inception, the caucus has grown to include more than 60 members from both sides of the aisle and in both the House and the Senate. Since our creation, we've been proud to partner with the Thurgood Marshall College Fund to raise awareness among my colleagues in Congress and to advocate for the resources that HBCUs need to not only survive, but thrive.
These colleges and universities have a very important mission, but they can't do it on their own. Thurgood Marshall College Fund not only brings in their own resources, but bring in other people with their resources to help with this very important mission. So I'm very grateful to them for what they do, and I think this is something we all need to pitch in together to make sure we have success for the students and for all of us.
Our ultimate mission is to protect our institutions, the historically iconic institutions called HBCUs, but to ensure that the students who matriculate and ultimately graduate from those institutions have a high quality education.
When you become a TMCF scholar, and you know that such a large and venerable organization believes in you and your success and your progress, then you begin to believe in yourself in new and exciting ways. So I know that the opportunities that I've had, including the opportunity to work in Hollywood, can be directly traced back to TMCF.
TMCF is the best thing that happened to me professionally, whether it be networks or jobs or opportunities or realizing my dreams. TMCF is definitely the stepping stone to where my life is today.
The different programs that I experienced as an undergrad have changed my life. And as a result, I've changed the lives of young people, and then one day they'll change the lives of future young people. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you've done, for making me the professional that I am today.
I think about where we started. We were very focused on scholarships and giving out scholarships, and the evolution really changing to understand that we needed to work on leadership development. We needed to work on finding these wonderful young minds jobs. We needed to work on supporting the HBCUs themselves, from teacher support and education and being part of the universities. So the evolution has been phenomenal, but at the end of the day, our passion for the students have always been at the core of what we're doing.
You also have to have a really strong board, and that's where everybody around the table, nobody just sits there like they're important with a big butt in a seat saying, well, I'm from this important company, let me hear what's going on. We want you to go get a lot of money, we want you to be involved, we want you to be engaged, we want you to do a lot of work, or you have no value to this board. And we have that around the whole table. And I don't think there are many nonprofits in the world that have a CEO on a board like we do.
I think being from an HBCU, I understand the
financial struggle that students can go through, and the limited opportunities on HBCU campuses. And TMCF just makes a lot of those things that weren't possible for HBCU students before TMCF possible.
When you watch the eyes of students who think that they could not have achieved a certain dream or that goal of graduating from a college, and then you watch them cross that stage or get that first job, the excitement just gives you goosebumps.
I'm motivated by the fact that TMCF is a purveyor of creative solutions. We bring solutions to our community that are unlike other organizations that serve the HBCU community, and I think that's an amazing differentiating thing about us. We're different, we're creative, and we're here to help.
I think that the work that we do here goes way beyond our building. It touches the lives of students and their families, and that moment right there can change someone's life for the better.
Every day I am motivated to do the work of TMCF by the fact that I know that every day I'm helping to remove barriers to opportunity for students and for people in fragile communities who need access to education and access to opportunity.
One of the things that I'm proudest of is that I participated in the formation of the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund since having had its name changed to the Thurgood Marshall College Fund.
We don't sit still, and we're always looking to change the way things have been done. Our mantra is just because it's been done that way doesn't mean it has to be done that way going forward, and that is the epitome of innovation. And so that's what I would say at Thurgood Marshall College Fund we thrive on.
One word to describe TMCF would be inspiring.
Life-changing.
Amazing.
Opportunity.
Happy 30th anniversary, Thurgood Marshall College Fund.
I wish you many more years of success.
Happy 30th anniversary.
What an impact you've had on my career and my life.
Happy anniversary, Thurgood Marshall College Fund.
You've been given a great gift, and not everybody gets that gift. And I hope that you will understand the gift that you've been given and use that gift for yourself, but also for the people around you in your community, your state, and your nation.
You know, I think back to when I turned 30 and how excited I was then. I have that same excitement for Thurgood Marshall College Fund because I live and breathe this organization. You know, I love TMCF. I love what I do. I love my job. I love my colleagues. And to be able to celebrate a milestone anniversary like that with so many people and things that you love, what more can you ask for?
Happy 30th anniversary, TMCF. It has been an amazing journey, and I'm confident we will have many more years of success.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Miss USA 2016, Deshauna Barber and actor Daryl Bell.
Good evening. I hope you all have enjoyed your meal. I saw some people out there tweeting pictures of plates when I was scrolling through the TMCF Gala hashtag, so continue to hit the hashtag. For you all that do not know, I am Captain Deshauna Barber. I am the first soldier to win Miss USA. Thank you very much. I had the honor and privilege to represent the District of Columbia in that national pageant. Thank you. And I now work full-time as a motivational speaker. I am also a proud graduate of the Virginia State University. And I was excited when I received the call to participate in this event. There was absolutely no way I was going to turn down this awesome opportunity.
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here as well. In 1987, the Thurgood Marshall College Fund was founded, and A Different World premiered on NBC in prime time. For 30 years, A Different World and the fictitious Hillman College have provided the preeminent image of HBCU life and Black college experiences on television. The show inspired thousands of young people to enroll not in a different world, but in the actual world, in actual HBCUs, supported by the extraordinary works of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund over that same 30-year time span. It has been a profound joy of my career to share in a legacy that has been evangelical about the transformative impact HBCUs have on so many Black students to receive an education and change their lives. And we had some fun and a few laughs while we did it.
Yes. The following individuals are die-hard TMCF supporters and are the individuals who help guide the organization under the leadership of Board Chair Jim Clifton. Would all members of the TMCF board please stand and be recognized? Round of applause.
There are so many organizations that support and advocate for higher education, and tonight we have one of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund's educational partners in the room who is fighting the same battle every day. Neil Orikoshi, President and Executive Director of the Asian and Pacific Islander American Scholarship Fund, please stand and be recognized. There he is.
Now I hear we have some other special people in the room tonight. These individuals were very instrumental in the early years of TMCF, and we are honored to have them with us tonight. Would Noel Hankin, Robert Aaron, Johnny Parham Jr., and Vergus Colbert please stand? We want to thank each of you for all of your hard work, perseverance, and dedication to the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. You are all TMCF legends. Let's celebrate them. Another round of applause. As we talk about legends, TMCF has impacted so many students who have gone on to do great things. The next two individuals are old school TMCF alumni who came back to support the organization on this very special occasion. Christina Sykes was a member of the first graduating scholarship class in 1993, and Dr. Jared Reeves was featured student in one of the TMCF's first major advertisement campaign back in the late 80s. Would the two of you please stand and be recognized?
That is so cool and extraordinary to have people who were there in the beginning in the room right here with us. Earlier, we acknowledged our major partners, but there are some additional partners to whom we want to extend a special thank you. Please hold your applause until the end. I know that will be difficult, but these partners are the Hershey Company, Moet Hennessy USA, Stoli Vodka, United Airlines, and Twitter. Let's give them all a round of applause. I don't want to overstep my boundaries in a point of personal privilege, but Twitter, is there one Twitter account you could block? I'm not saying any names. I'm not going to mention anybody, but y'all know who I'm talking about. A full list of tonight's partners and supporters can be found in your program, and we want to truly thank all of you for coming out and supporting my frat brother, Thurgood Marshall, and the Thurgood Marshall College Fund.
Last year on this very stage, there was an exciting promise about an amazing opportunity for TMCF and the Black college community. Earlier this year, that promise became reality when TMCF received a special gift that made a monumental difference and will for years to come. Please welcome to the stage the Executive Director of the Center for Advancing Opportunity, Ms. Jennifer Wider.
Good evening. Earlier this year, Thurgood Marshall College Fund launched a national research center, the Center for Advancing Opportunity. CAO is harnessing the talent and creativity of HBCUs to produce compelling research to address some of the most critical challenges impacting fragile communities, particularly as it relates to education, criminal justice reform, and entrepreneurship. This endeavor would not have been possible without our committed partners at the Charles Koch Foundation and Koch Industries. Thanks to their generous $26 million gift, we are giving individuals with the greatest need a voice in helping to remove the barriers to opportunity in their own communities. Would all of our friends from the Charles Koch Foundation and Koch Industries please stand as we recognize your outstanding support. In September, CAO awarded Winston-Salem State University with a $3 million grant to launch the first campus research center under the Center for Advancing Opportunity. We are so excited about the innovative work underway at Winston-Salem State for their new Center for the Study of Economic Mobility. We look forward to funding future projects at other HBCUs around the country. Please direct your attention to the screens to hear more about the Center for Advancing Opportunity.
A fragile community is a community of people who want better for themselves and their families. Unfortunately, every day they confront real barriers to their opportunity. They are education related. They are criminal justice related. Entrepreneurship is out of reach. These are very complicated problems. You get the talking heads, you see social service programs and administrators who think they've solved the problem. The issue is they have probably not identified properly the problem. And I would submit to you that it's because they didn't ask the community. It's time for a new approach. So I'm in the shower one morning getting ready for work, and I overhear an interview on a national cable network of Charles Koch being interviewed. He wanted to figure out how to remove barriers to opportunity for all people. So I wrote a letter to him. And I said, I have an idea. We at the Thurgood Marshall College Fund think that we can play a role in helping remove barriers, specifically working with faculty and students on historically black college and university campuses. Within 2 days, I received a call back from his foundation.
We both believe that there are tremendous obstacles and barriers for a significant portion of the population. What I'm committed to do is to help remove those barriers and give everybody the opportunity to learn, contribute, and fulfill their potential.
This partnership will initially focus on 3 areas: education reform, criminal justice reform, and entrepreneurship. We have to start by listening to the communities. Gallup's TMCF Coke Opportunity Index is a first of its kind polling tool that's going to go to members of fragile communities and ask them, what are the obstacles to you achieving the American dream? So once we've collected these insights, we've got to do something with them. At the core is a research component. The Center for Advancing Opportunity is an institute which will have several campus-based research centers where HBCU faculty and graduate students and even undergraduate students will study the findings and begin developing new and innovative solutions. The fact of the matter is, these faculty and students are closer to the problem. Many of them come from fragile communities themselves, and so they are uniquely positioned to understand and address the barriers people in their communities face. This investment in our communities will total $26 million over the next 5 years.
I'm particularly excited about this partnership because we have a very divided country now, and our belief is that if we're going to have a successful country in the future, we need to unite people.
Finding those areas where there's commonality is what this partnership is about. We have a real heartfelt interest in figuring out how everyone can enjoy the American experience. It all starts with listening.
It's a nice video, isn't it? That's a real nice video. Thank you. It is. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for leading the Center for Advancing Opportunity. Thank our partners at Koch Industries and the Charles Koch Foundation. Folks, if you aren't convinced yet of the tremendous impact TMCF is having on the lives of students and fragile communities, I don't know what more we can say or do. Let's see how much we've raised tonight. Can someone put up on the screen? How much have we raised so far tonight? Is there a number up there? Maybe that means not enough, but we're gonna do it. Listen, I was walking amongst the tables with each of you all, and I had someone come up to me. I had a couple approach me, and this is like absolutely amazing. This gentleman and his wife walked up and said, we will match up to $1 million. Every dollar given tonight, my wife and I, Jim and Susan Clifton, please stand, they will match it dollar for dollar. Where are you? Can we get the height? Where are they? Okay, can I get some lights? I know he doesn't like to stand, but this is the chair of our board, and this is when you put your money where your mouth is, right? Jim and Susan, please stand. Thank you. Please, let's recognize them. So now that's the call to order. I told you I was a professional beggar. It worked out, right? But we need each of you. Remember, we have someone now matching dollar for dollar, a couple matching dollar for dollar every gift that you give today. Remember, it's easy to give. Visit www.tmcf.org/give. While you're making your donation and encouraging others online to do the same thing with #TMCF Gala, Hopefully, our next honoree can help the excitement of the night keep going. But before we introduce this distinguished HBCU leader, there's a group in the House who, if it wasn't for their support and leadership, TMCF wouldn't be able to find these talented students. The leaders of these schools are so inspiring because even when people are questioning the relevancy of their institutions, they continue to find a way or make one to get it done for the benefit of our students, the faculty, and the staff. Tonight, we have our member school leaders, presidents, and chancellors representing historically black colleges and universities and predominantly black institutions in the House. Can we get the light up? Because, you know, we get a lot of credit at TMCF, but at the end of the day, they do the educating of our students. Would all presidents, chancellors, and law school deans please stand and be recognized? Now, to present our next award, please welcome to the stage two individuals who know the importance of education and representing our community. They are the chairman of the Republican Study Committee, Congressman Mark Walker, representing the great state of North Carolina, and Congressman Lisa Blunt Rochester, representing the great state of Delaware. Please join the stage.
Good evening. The Educational Leadership Award is presented annually to an extraordinary individual who has demonstrated outstanding business, academic, and visionary leadership through unwavering action and highly effective management of his or her institution. When Dr. Harry Lee Williams, the 10th president of Delaware State University, took office in 2010, he brought with him a goal of becoming the best HBCU president in the nation. In his first year as president, Dr. Williams worked with the Delaware General Assembly to develop legislation to create a state-funded DSU Inspire Scholarship, which tied together academic excellence and a commitment to service for high school graduates. Under his leadership, DSU has also partnered with the Dream.US to enroll undocumented immigrant students known nationwide as the Dreamers.
Thank you, Congresswoman. During his 7-year tenure, the university achieved a school record enrollment in each of his first 5 years as president. Delaware State University's research portfolio has continued to expand, particularly in the neuroscience program, which recently received a 5-year, $8.8 million research grant from the National Institutes of Health to continue the university's work. And under Dr. Williams' leadership, DSU's Go Green initiatives have also led to energy upgrades projected to save the university $5.3 million in energy cost over the next 20 years. So tonight, we honor Dr. Williams for his commitment to Delaware State University and for his leadership on and off the campus. Please direct your attention to the screens to learn a little bit more about this dynamic educational leader.
Delaware State University is an 1890 land-grant university. We were founded in 1891 as a state college for colored students. Since 1891, we've grown into a major comprehensive university. We now have an enrollment of 4,600 students and growing. So it's an exciting place to be. Becoming the president of Delaware State University, I would say that's been the highlight of my professional career. I've been in this business now for 28 years, and to become a college president, I cannot put words on it in terms of the accomplishment associated with that, and because there are not that many in the United States, and to be able to achieve that was just an incredible achievement for me. There's no joy I can explain in terms of my wife, my two boys. There's nothing I wouldn't do for them. I have a son who is a senior at Howard University. I also have a son who is a senior in high school. And he's already made a commitment that he's going to go to North Carolina A&T State University. Because I said, why don't you just come to Delaware State? He said, no, Dad, I can't do that. I got to get away from you. So I'm proud of the fact that I have two boys attending HBCUs. I would like the story to be that Delaware State has been, as an institution that's been in this community for over 125 years, and the 10th president made sure that this institution is going to be here for another 125 years by the programs that was put in place under my leadership and the programs that are sustainable and that people continue to move forward with in a positive way. That would be an incredible legacy to look back on. I feel honored. I also feel humbled by this recognition, because when you're all recognized, it's not you. It's the people that's been around you that will be lifted up along the journey, because they've all been a part of this ride. And I'm just a representative to accept this award on behalf of the community of Delaware State University, and to be able to be singled out as someone that might be a little bit above the notch at this moment is pretty amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating our 2017 Educational Leadership Award recipient, my good friend, the most humble, incredible, innovative, inspiring, and none of that's on the script, but he's phenomenal leader, President of Delaware State University, Dr. Harry Lee Williams.
Wow, I am so honored to be here with you tonight. I am profoundly grateful for this honor and for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. It was a dream of mine to become a historically black college university president. I want to thank my family who is here with me this evening for all of their love and support. My wife, Robin, who's sitting down there in the front row. My two boys, Austin and Gavin, who are sitting over there in table number 14, couldn't figure out why they couldn't get at the head table. I also want to thank the members of the Delaware State University Board of Trustees. The chairwoman, Dr. Wilma Mashu, is here with us tonight. We also have John Ridgway, who is a member of our board, former board member. Norman Oliver is here with me, and Dr. Debbie Harrington. We are so excited about this award. And of course, my administrative council, my provost, Dr. Tony Allen, is here with us tonight, in addition to Dr. Vita Pickren and Dr. Stacy Down and Ms. Irene Hawkins, and my general counsel, who keeps us out of trouble. David, thank you for being here with us. Becoming the president of a historically black college or university was a career desire that was born in me when I received my HBCU baptism at the North Carolina A&T State University as the director of admissions. And then 4 years later, Delaware State University hired me to serve as the provost and vice president of academic affairs. In less than 2 years, the University Board of Trustees selected me to be the 10th president now in the 126-year history of Delaware State University. Students, dreams come true when you live them. I am so humbled for this award tonight, and I look forward to seeing all of you. And as I said in the video, this is not about me. This is about what I do every single day, serving our students, serving our community. Thank you, Thurgood Marshall. Thank you to this committee. Have a great evening. Thank you.
So my team in the back, guys, got me. They said, listen, you're showing your age. I kept saying tmcf.org give /. They said it's supposed to be /. So that might explain why this number isn't higher. So consider going back. Don't remember, I got a couple here who's gonna match this, so I need everyone to dig deep, and I'm sorry that I said backslash, Brother Zoll, it's forward slash. We're supposed to be looking forward. Congratulations again, Dr. Williams. We are so proud of you. I also want to take a moment to say just thank you to Congressman Walker and Congresswoman Blunt for supporting us tonight. See, what's beautiful about what we've been able to do is to get away from all of the negativity and the division in America. You had a Congresswoman, a Democrat, a Republican congressman, and they came here today to celebrate something they both feel passionate about. That's what this work is all about. We can spend all of our time focusing on our differences, or we can find those things for which we have commonality and support them. And the one thing I know is when it comes to education, when it comes to HBCUs, you wouldn't believe this, but the congressman from North Carolina has North Carolina A&T State University, the largest HBCU in his district. His wife, believe it or not, is a graduate, two-time graduate of Winston-Salem State University in North Carolina. The congresswoman has Delaware State. So whatever their differences are on policy, at the end of the day, they both share in common a commitment to successful, thriving HBCUs. And if we can all do that as an America, we're going to be in a far better place than focusing on our negatives and those dislikes of each other. In 2015, TMCF helped launch the Bipartisan Congressional HBCU Caucus to amplify the voices of HBCUs on Capitol Hill. And we are so fortunate to have some members here, but I want, as they stand up, there was one woman, one courageous woman in particular, who you've seen on the screen before, Congresswoman Alma Adams. She was a new congresswoman at the time, and so she didn't wait her time. She came in and said, because of all of the work, she spent 30 plus years teaching at HBCUs, public and private. She was a graduate of both institutions, and she said, I'm going to make a difference. So she created, I should say, this congressional, bipartisan, bicameral HBCU caucus. Would all of our members of Congress please stand and be recognized? Several, they're jumping up. They hate to be recognized. It's leaders and educators like you and Dr. Williams who provide opportunities to young people. Our next presenter, I'm kind of excited about this, is an award-winning actress and producer extraordinaire. She began her career with roles on daytime television, soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I used to sit up and watch with my grandmother. And she starred in box office hits like Independence Day and Set It Off. Okay, she is currently starring in a stage play production of Two Can Play That Game, based on the hit movie of the same name. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a student whose personal story is going to blow you away. Please welcome to the stage to introduce her, the lovely Miss Vivica A. Fox.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Johnny. I feel so privileged to be here tonight as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of this tremendous organization. Earlier, Johnny introduced you all to the students in this room, but it is my absolute privilege to introduce you to another special student. She is a junior at the University of the District of Columbia, and when you hear the things that she has had to endure to get to this point, I know you will all be truly inspired. Please welcome Heather Alicia McNeil.
Good evening, everyone. My grandfather used to say that every day on this side of the dirt is a blessing, so make use of it. I can certainly attest to that. He was right, even though not every day always felt that way. I certainly am trying to make use of my time I have left on this earth. I was married 21 years to a man who physically and mentally abused me. There were days that were very dark for me. There were days that I wanted to die. There was days I wanted him to die. But we had 6 children, and I knew I couldn't die. I had to make it through to be what they needed me to be. So I took a leap of faith. I got a job in Baltimore and packed up and moved from Pennsylvania, where I had grown up and lived my whole life to start over. I found a townhome, settled into a routine, and then I lost my job. I didn't know what I was going to do, but a friend called and told me to cry, get it all out, you have 24 hours, but then the pity party was over, and I needed to have a plan. I got a scholarship from the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, and I started taking classes. I'm a student at the University of the District of Columbia, but midway through my first semester, my father died. I left school and didn't come back for a while. My professors started reaching out to me saying, hey, what's going on? I told them that my dad had died, and they were like, we're family. We're here to help you. We can get through this. That was really moving to me. I was used to fighting on my own, from domestic violence I faced in my marriage to battling with cancer. You know, sometimes in our culture, there's a sense of wanting to do things all on our own to show we're strong. But I have learned over the past several years that it's okay to be weak sometimes. That's when we draw on our community. For me, that community has come in the form of my amazing professors and deans and administrators at UDC. My son, who's at the Community College of UDC, now has a learning disability. He always felt like he couldn't attend college and it wasn't for him. This is a child who didn't speak until he was 5 years old, had an IEP his entire life, and now wants to study biomedical engineering. And that's thanks to the community and family we found at UDC. And I'm so grateful to the Thurgood Marshall College Fund for helping me to persist and helping me to push through. Me surviving cancer, me surviving domestic violence, I have learned there is life after adversity. I've been able to secure internships and participate in the 2016 Leadership Institute, thanks to TMCF. At 46 years old, I'm currently studying to be an international neuropsychologist who studies the minds of pedophiles because someone in my family was once attacked. And it's scary. But if your dreams aren't big enough, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. And thankfully, with the support of my extended family I have found at TMCF and UDC, I'm confident I will get there. Thank you.
Every year, that was just a remarkable story. And we hear so many of those. With 300,000 students, we can bring them up all day and tell you about it. But the beauty of the stories here is these are not people who are telling you to feel sorry for them. They're showing you stories of triumph. That's what we celebrate at the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. Young lady, her words definitely inspired me, and I hope that they have inspired you as well. After hearing from 2 of our students tonight, there shouldn't be a question about the return on your investment, the ROI for all the business people in the room, of every single dollar that we've raised. Now, we have 1 award left, and this is one that excites you. A lot of things excite me, but this one is, I got to tell you a little story. It's our CEO of the Year award, where we honor a corporate leader who has made a groundbreaking contribution to his or her organization. This individual exemplifies the spirit of leadership, demonstrates a profound respect for education, and has a significant significant public service and philanthropic background. Before I introduce the person who's going to introduce them, I have to tell you, I saw this gentleman. I was in California at a hotel, literally standing in the lobby, and he passed by me. You sort of see peripherally somebody pass you. You're like, I know him. You know, he's not a TV star or athlete or anything of the sort, but I know that face. And I turned to him and I said, I know you. And he was like, okay. Come to find out, I'd seen him recently in Fortune. This was one of the few Fortune 500 CEOs, African-American CEOs. So I asked him, I said, you know, I've been writing letters for the last several years trying to get you to come here and let us recognize you because of who you are, what you've accomplished, and what you would represent for all of our children. And he says, well, write me again. This year's kind of booked, but I got to tell you, I'll look at it next year. A couple of days later, my mother used to always say the most they can say is no. But a couple of days later, I received a call from his assistant saying he's cleared his schedule. He's coming to the Thurgood Marshall College Fund event this year. So ladies and gentlemen, here to present the CEO of the Year Award is the chairman of the TMCF Board of Directors and the CEO of Gallup, Mr. Jim Clifton.
Well, thank you, Johnny. Roger, I just got made chairman of your board. Did you hear that, of TIAA? I'm chairman of Gallup and of this, not of Roger's board. Hey, you guys, a lot of you students, when we talk, you say that you want to get to Wall Street. You know, if you were to manage a big asset fund, 100 million would be a lot. That's a lot. That's a good one. 500 million's even bigger. You know what's big's a billion. 10 billion's big. Johnny said that this was a very big businessman. The assets that he manages are $1 trillion. You know, in business, you don't really need the word trillion. We use billion sometimes, a lot of hundreds of million, that kind of thing. Unless you're in government, there is no such word called trillion. Not sure here. Well, good evening. Celebrating 30 years is a major accomplishment. And Joyce, what a great pleasure it's been working with you over the last 14 years. If anyone knows how to steer the country, Joyce, in the direction of economic success, I think it's this next honoree. Roger Ferguson is President and Chief Executive Officer of the Fortune 100 Financial Services Organization, as I said, TIAA. He's the former Vice Chairman of the Board of Governors of the U.S. Federal Reserve System. He represented the Federal Reserve on several international policy groups and served on key Federal Reserve System committees. On 9/11, he led the Fed's initial response to the terrorist attacks, taking actions that kept the U.S. financial system functioning while reassuring the global financial community that the U.S. economy would not be paralyzed. Roger's an American hero. Mr. Ferguson previously served on President Obama's Council on Jobs and Competitiveness. Direct your attention to the screen to learn more about this outstanding and really heroic American man.
Well, the biggest thing that contributed to my success, frankly, was education. I started out in the public school system here in Washington, D.C. We were not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. And I know my parents sacrificed to help me get to where I got to. I had some great teachers, particularly some in math, in particular, that really encouraged me down that path. And then, continuing that to get both an undergraduate degree, a law degree, and eventually a PhD in economics, all at Harvard. So my career was really driven by the value of education. It was my job to lead the Fed as we did the initial responses to the terrorist attacks on 9/11, but I couldn't have done it by myself. There were literally thousands of people in the Federal Reserve System that did important things to help keep the U.S. economy afloat and to help make sure that we didn't have a big crash here in the U.S. And I will say the fact that I think was generally perceived to be successful in helping us to avoid a big crisis after 9/11 put me in a slightly different position in terms of recognition, at least in the financial services industry, that I think helped propel me to become the CEO of TIAA. It's a mission-driven organization. We've existed for about 100 years, and our mission is to really drive the financial well-being in the not-for-profit sector, with particular focus on higher education. We put a great value on how we do things. We've won the award from Ethisphere as one of the world's most ethical companies several times. We've been recognized by Diversity Inc. as one of the best 50 companies for diversity. We won the Lipper Award for the best large mutual fund complex. That's sort of like winning the Academy Award for best performance 5 years in a row, unheard of. And so we're really proud of both what we do and how we do it. I've got to tell you, receiving this award from the Thurgood Marshall College Fund is really one of the high points of my life. You know, the Thurgood Marshall College Fund really embodies two things that are so important to me. First, the notion of college, and particularly the fun part of it. So, you know, helping students, HBCUs succeed, grow, develop, and be financially stable. And then the fact that it's named for Thurgood Marshall. I describe myself as one of the great beneficiaries of school desegregation, and the fact that Thurgood Marshall was a brave leader, an intellectual force, leveraging the power of the law in order to make things better for millions of Americans, and I'm absolutely one of those people. So I'm very excited to receive this award.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in honoring our 2017 CEO of the Year, Roger W. Ferguson.
Thank you very, very much for that kind introduction. I want to take a moment as I start to thank the Thurgood Marshall College Fund for presenting me with the CEO of the Year award. This is a great honor, and I am humbled to be recognized in this way by an organization with such a long history of making a difference in our society. Tonight, I stand on the shoulders of Thurgood Marshall, and indeed, we all do, because his contributions to our nation were so profound. I was just 3 years old when Brown versus the Board of Education was won by Thurgood Marshall before the Supreme Court, consigning the doctrine, the ancient doctrine of separate but equal, to the ash heap of history. I attended a segregated elementary school here in my hometown of Washington, D.C., but by the middle school, I was able to enroll in an integrated magnet school thanks to school desegregation. And from there, educational opportunities kept opening up for me. Education has made all the difference in my life, and I believe that nothing equals its power to transform. As a nation, we have made progress in expanding educational opportunity, but it's clear that there remains a great divide between those on the path to success, such as those in this room, and those, sadly, being left behind. We all have a responsibility to continue driving change, as Thurgood Marshall did during his entire life. I know there are many students in the audience tonight, and I want to say just a few words specifically to you. Most importantly, the world needs your creativity. We need your engagement, your ideas, and your vitality. And importantly, we need your commitment to creating a better future. Today, as we've already said, our society is sadly divided in many ways. We are not coalescing around a common definition of the American dream. We face many challenges around equality and social justice. Let's be clear, solving the problems that confront us will not be easy, but I am nevertheless optimistic about the future and about our prospects to keep moving forward toward a more just and equal society that provides opportunity for all. And that's because of all of you, the students in this room and millions like you, the young people like you all across the nation. By getting a college education, you are making a huge investment in what we economists like to call human capital. No one can ever take that away from you, this great gift that you, your parents, and perhaps this fund have given you. I firmly believe that education is the key to a better future, not just for you, but for us, for our nation. And that's why I have such a great respect for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund and all that it has achieved over the past 30 years. So let me close by congratulating the Thurgood Marshall College Fund for your success and impact for 30 years and wish you many more years of making a difference. Thank you for your continued commitment to education and to the Black college community, and thank you all for honoring me tonight. Thank you very much.
All righty, as we're getting ready to close this out, we want to congratulate Mr. Ferguson again. And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the awards segment for this evening. We've recognized amazing leaders, amazing students. Let's give all of our awardees another round of applause. So I wanted to see where we are again with our giving. I can't see, so I have to, but remember, I know we can do better and get to at least $100,000 tonight so that we can take advantage of the match. So I want to convince you again, implore you again to once again consider giving to our students and to our organization. Now, let's move on with the program. To liven things up a little bit, we've completed the awards, and we have a very, very, very special moment for you. Remember we talked about giving away stuff? I'm here to introduce someone who's going to give away something. To let us, right now, United Airlines is going to give us 2 tickets. Please welcome to the stage the Chief Diversity Officer for United Airlines, Mr. Gregory Jones.
Boy, you look good. Good evening and welcome. My name is Greg Jones, Chief Diversity Officer for United Airlines, and I'm pleased to be with you today as a proud partner and board member of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. And on behalf of the almost 90,000 employees of United Airlines, we thank you for the opportunity to be with you this evening. At United, we operate with a shared purpose, and that is connecting people and uniting the world. Every day we help unite the world by connecting people to each other at some of the most important moments of their lives. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you on board your United flight.
Fasten your seatbelts. We're taking off. We are United with more than 1.6 million departures and more than 150 million passengers flying 1.6 billion miles. No one else connects the world like we do. When it comes to our stats, we never settle. We best our best. We're re-energized.
Have a good one.
We're reimagining the customer experience. We're reviving the friendly skies.
This is one of the biggest product transformations we've had in over a decade, and this is a product that they can truly be proud of.
It's the new spirit of United. You on board? Yeah, thought so.
From London and across the globe, we are united.
We are united.
We are united.
And that's why we'll be the best airline in the world for our employees, our customers, and everyone we serve.
Thanks again for flying the friendly skies.
Thank you. At United, diversity has to be a part of who we are, how we think, and how we succeed. And when you do that, what you discover is that impact and leadership comes in a lot of different packages. And that's why the Thurgood Marshall College Fund is so important to United Airlines. Now, throughout the night, you've been asked to donate to the Thurgood Marshall College Fund for potentially some great prizes. And one of those prizes would be 2 first-class or business class tickets to anywhere United flies in the world. So on behalf of United Airlines, I would like to congratulate Stephen O'Brien as the winner of these 2 tickets. We look forward to serving you, and you can pick up your ticket voucher at the end of the event. Now, before I leave, and they don't know anything about this, it's a surprise in the celebration of the 30-year anniversary of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. Johnny, would you join me on stage, please? On behalf of United Airlines, we would like to show our continued support to the Thurgood Marshall College Fund with a donation of $500,000.
You know, rarely does my team trick me. I promise you this was not planned. God knows this was not planned. $500,000, won't he do it? That's what won't he do it? This is truly, truly unscripted, a surprise. Thank you so much, United Airlines. Congratulations to Steve O'Brien and everybody else who won the tickets, but I won tonight. I can buy you a couple of round trip tickets on this right here, right? Where's my Wells Fargo banker? Come cash this. Let's make sure it's good. That's what I want to do. Wells Fargo, where are you? And I'm serious too. Y'all know that. Woo! Okay, I got to get this together. Mama, did you ever think? My mama's sitting over here, right? That's right. See if I can sketch out Thurgood Marshall and put Johnny Taylor there. This is just wonderful. Seriously, it is absolutely. We have a few more surprises up our sleeves. I hope it's more like that because nobody told me. Because it's our 30th anniversary, we have to end big. And that's big. I'm just literally shocked this doesn't happen to me. They keep pulling this over on me. You know, after being a part of this organization for 8 years, every year has been a new and eye-opening experience for me. At times, it's sort of easy to lose sight of the impact your work is having on the lives you are touching. But every year, this event brings the human aspect back to the forefront of my mind. It reminds you why we do what we do, seeing the emotion on the students' faces as they tell their stories, not just 18 to 20-year-olds, but 46-year-olds, okay? Hearing from the honorees and the leaders about why they remain committed to helping us continue to develop minds so that students can realize their dreams. It's simply amazing. Thank you all. Thanks to all of you, our special guests and presenters who supported us tonight. You could have been somewhere else, but you chose to spend this time with us, and I personally appreciate you spending this time with us. I'd like to thank my hardworking and dedicated staff for a job well done. And let me tell you, is this it, right? This marketing team, our events team, Dante Clavo's out there, Jamal Bailey, everybody, thank you. Thanks to the volunteers. Let's give it up for the production and audiovisual team, the hotel staff. They all made this event possible. And I have a special friend in the audience who I'm sure she thought I perhaps forgot to recognize, but I didn't. If I could get some lights, I don't know where she is, but I want you to see someone who helped really define my presidency. Denise Young-Smith from Apple, would you please stand? Where is she? Now, you know she should be up here in the front, right? $43 million later, she should be up here. Denise, for those of you who don't know, groundbreaking announcement, don't sit down, groundbreaking announcement several years ago that Apple, because of Denise, an HBCU graduate of Grambling State University, global head of HR at the time, I thanked her. I do thank her for being a true representation of what HBCUs can produce and how she has served as a true role model to the next generation of leaders. Introducing students into the tech industry is a new venture for us, and we look forward to a great working relationship with you and our friends at Apple. Denise, again, it was just such a big deal. I could not recognize you and the Apple organization tonight. Thank you. The last thing I'll do tonight or announce tonight is the creation of a $30 million fundraising campaign we're kicking off in January to endow a new program called the TMCF Builders Program. This program will build the economic future for our world, sweep aside the obstacles for a carefully selected handful of the best and brightest students from TMCF member schools, and place them on the path to founding, leading, and transforming business. We want to bring someone to the stage like a Mr. Ferguson 30 years from now who was a TMCF alum, an HBCU graduate. Partners funding this program will have the opportunity to meet, mentor, and hire our students as we put them on their pathway to leadership. So to all of our partners in the room, or anyone else who's interested, who has an extra $30 million sitting around, if you want to know more about this or be a part of this initiative, let someone on my team know. Find me, and we'll make it happen. We'd love to have you help us and join on board as we work this out. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing more to say. Thank you so much again for joining us. I hope that you're here next year. I will be. I have to give a special shout out to, you all know I'm going to do something else, but there's a group here that when I made the phone call, they jumped right away. The Society for Human Resources Management, Chairwoman Caretha Rushing, please stand up. They're at the big table. And our members of the Board of Directors, would you all please stand, my SHRM colleagues? Come on now, stand up. I got to recognize SHRM's in the house. Okay, thank you. I'm putting them on the spot. I'm so pleased that you all came to join me today. Winners are going to be listed on the screens at the end of the program. If you see your name, you can claim your prizes at the check-in counter at the hotel lobby. And finally, I have to save the best for last. This thank you goes to the phenomenal Dr. N. Joyce Payne for her vision 30 years ago. Without her, without Dr. Payne, come on, let's stand up on this one, because without Dr. Payne, come on up, Dr. Payne. You all have to see her. I'm so proud of her. Thank you, Dr. Payne, for having a dream that has been a reality since 1987 and has changed people's lives. And I got a little secret for you. Back again to perform a special tribute to you. Please welcome to the stage the lovely Miss Glennis Grace.
Share my life, take me for what I am, 'cause I never change all my colors for you. Take my love, I never ask for too much. just all that you are and everything that you do. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't want to have to go where you don't follow. I don't hold it back again. This passion inside can't run for myself. There's nowhere to hide. Don't make me close one more door. I don't want to hurt anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare. Must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. You'll see through right to the heart of me. You break down my walls with the strength of your love. I never knew love like I knew it with you. Will the memory survive? Oh, I can hold on to. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't want to have to go where you don't follow. I will hold it back again. This passion inside can't run for myself. There's nowhere to hide. Your love I remember forever. Don't make me close one more door. I don't want to hurt anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare. Must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't make me close one more door. I don't want to hurt anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare. Must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me. No, don't walk away from me. Don't you dare walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. If I don't have you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow.
Thank you.
All right, was that right? Let's hear from Miss Glennis Grace, all the way from the Netherlands. Mwah. Y'all trust me, right? That's for real. You will be hearing from her as she releases her new album in the first of the year. Again, let's congratulate and thank her in advance, Miss Glennis Grace, for an amazing performance tonight. So inspirational and benefiting of our founder and such a great woman, Dr. N. Joyce Payne. Dr. Payne, after that, can you just give us some remarks? What do you think right now, 30 years into this and being serenaded by this giant voice?
This has been just a phenomenal evening. I am so overwhelmed by all of the love, the entertainment, all of the gorgeous people here, and the exceptional students we have. I always tell Johnny and the students that I talk with that this is truly a labor of love. I'm here to simply say to you, thank you for your continued support. However, we have another special announcement tonight. And although we are very saddened by this announcement, that we are losing this nature, this force of nature rather, this extraordinary young man. You have seen him demonstrate his leadership on the stage tonight, and he is like this every day. Every day. He is driving. I can't tell you how it feels to work not only with Johnny, but with the extraordinary board of directors we have, and of course, Jim Clifton. You can't get any better than that. That's right. Can't get any better than that. And although Johnny is going on to the next journey, I must tell you, we are more than confident that we have another individual who will drive this organization to even greater heights. And that is our new president, Dr. Harry Williams, the president of Delaware State University.
Speech, and guess what? It was not planned. This was not planned that he would get the Educational Leader of the Leader Award and then become the new CEO, but I am so honored, and I want him to say just a few comments because we want to get you out of here. Welcome, brother.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, our founder. I am so humbled to be here with you as the next CEO of Thurgood Marshall College Fund. And I'm looking forward to moving this organization forward, advancing the mission that Dr. Payne laid out 30 years ago. And in order for me to continue to move that journey, I'm going to do it with my family, so I'd like for my wife, Dr. Robin Williams, to please stand, and my two boys, Austin and Gavin, would you please stand, because this is what it's all about. And we're going to have fun supporting our schools. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, Madam Founder, we successfully changed the guard. Drive safely, come back next year. Thank you, and good night.
You all know this was a total surprise. This was a real surprise. Oh, yes.